Hello and welcome to the 10th and the final roster update devlog. Not the final progress video, of course. This is just the ending of the roster update videos, and we are going to have another look at uh, the land of the rising sun. We will have the updates of EPEJSODION of Nihon no Dojjiboru Rigu, which is just Japanese Dodgeball League 2. The first league, if we would count the top league as league number 0. Uh, so we'll begin with Kumamoto Beasts, which get a uh, who got a buff. This team is now way more powerful, even compared to the English teams from the last video, because yeah, the English teams, the British teams, I would say, because there are Welsh teams in here. Welsh very lacking. Yokohama Bulbs, on the other hand, get a nerf, not as powerful as Kumamoto Beasts, and Shizuoka Squids are mostly the same. Also, I did not remake the logos for them because I remember that I was doing that logo update when my when I was offline, when I had a very bad uh, period when I was staying at home at a remote location, and I had no option of connecting to the internet, and I've tried anyway, uh, every single possible way, but I couldn't get online and retrieve the Japanese characters. So I think it should be fixed before the final release because it just looks bad. Akita Kappas get a buff. They are now way more powerful than in the last game. Omori Crushes also get a buff. Yeah, the Japanese league overall is getting way more powerful this time. Chiba Tempest are also getting a buff. This team is now comparable with literally every single English team, maybe except for the first three ones, but this team is now very powerful, and it was a very early team in EPEJSODION Dodgeball attack, defense and speed, available from the very first location. So even if you played attack defense speed for a very small amount of time, even if you never left the training center, you never even got to level 5, you already have a good team to train. Fukuyama Dai Katanas, on the other hand, gets a debuff. A debuff. Yeah, this team was way better. EDB. Uh, attack defense speed. Ginzaronins get a buff, a very slight buff, but still a buff. They were lacking in attack defense. Hamamatsu Leviathans are literally the same thing. This team was it was literally it useless in Episodian Dodgeball attack defense speed, but now there are even 90 stats in here. Look at this runner, Fukushima, Yeyoshi. Hiroshima gamers stay mostly the same. This was an okay team. Kagoshima Crystal are also getting a buff, and I think it was also one of the earliest teams, so there's literally no reason to go for trappan in Episodian of World Attack Defense training. For in Episodian of World Training and then Championships. But we'll see about that another time. Kitakyushu Woko? No, they are now nerfed. Hey, they don't have anybody. They have somebody less than 70, so yeah, this team is now top level. Matsuya Makoi is also a top level. This is another weaker team, but it's still buffed. Yeah, boy, yeah. Okayama Shadow Warriors, on the other hand, is now the best team choice for training, and I think it would still be for the championships themselves. The players are even better than all three of Nihon or Dojjiboru Rigu. Great teams, and I think you just should not go by this team. Uh, don't ignore it because they get uh, so many 80s in here. 5 players are 80 plus, and this 176 player is also very decent. Uh, and they are also very, very fast. And they are literally Osaka Ninjas light. So I would recommend shots to everyone. Sasebo then is staying mostly the same. It was another very early team in EPEJSODION Dodgeball attack defense speed. Sendai Striders get a nerf. I think they were uh, more powerful in EPEJSODION Dodgeball attack defense speed. It was a challenge team in EPEJSODION Dodgeball speed. Shohei Enomoto was the captain, and he's still the captain, and he's lacking. Two water guards are staying mostly the same, they are very weak. And finally, let's take a look at the last team in all of the roster updates, at least in the scope of episode of training. Yamaguchi Daimyos. And this team was very weak in episode of attack defense speed, so we've made sure to make them more powerful in here. With a very good Ken Migachi being both the new capital offensive and the new captain. A 86 that overall makes him even better than Mitsuya Onohara from EPEJSODION, from Okayama Shadow Warriors, a very fast player, a very good catcher. I would even call him a good substitute for Akiko Akari, so that would be about it for the roster updates in EPEJSODION Dodgeball training. Of course, there are still the uh, distribution teams, but I'm not going to show them off because the players have not changed. Their stats only changed, but uh, they are also not very important for that matter. Uh, I think everybody should get them at their own risk, and I'm even going to say that uh, these teams will not be there. Mm, what? Oh, okay. These teams will, the distribution teams, the special teams, they will not be available in episode of ball training by default. I've showed you all the teams; they were all unlocked, and I know that I'm having still some like debug things like getting a random level, but that's only just for the debug matters to have a better look at the uh, UI and to optimize it in the future. But the aforementioned special teams will not be available from the very beginning in episode of training. They are only unlocked if you get them first in episode of attack defense and speed. And I showed you the link to the website last time. Uh, last time, no, some time ago, and they will not be available. The rest of the teams will be available to play as, including the powerful, weak league teams, world class teams. They will be all available in game. in standard game. Now there are some changes to the UI that I'm going to still make. For instance, here when the background is so dim, I'm going to change maybe change the font color. I think it is okay if your eyes are glued to the monitor, but this game will be more optimized for gamepads. So I will be changing that. I will try to. And when I was saying about these star ratings, I think I should find a way to cram them into this UI. There will be also a confirm selection button here when these teams will be available to be chosen for the game. But I don't have these mechanics connected together. And as for the episode end of world training, developer updates, this is actually it. I'm not going to post any more of these videos on uh, EPEJSODION Dodgeball training in October because Halloween is coming. Uh, I'm recording this on 15th of October 2021, and I still want to roll out another launch update uh, with maybe a trick or treat mini game or something. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not going to focus on training anymore for the rest of October. So another President Dodgeball training video will be in November, and I'm going to show something more functional this time. So stay tuned, and I'm going to post something also in October, maybe on launch. Goodbye and stay tuned.